Well, I'm Jason with the All Things Open team. I'm here with Justin. We're going to talk about Agentic AI, contributing to open source projects, and a lot more. Welcome to the We Love Open Source Studio, Justin. Please introduce yourself to the All Things Open community.
Thanks, Jason. Hi, I'm Justin. I've been doing open source for 14 years, doing code and non-code contributions. I work at Sourcegraph doing DevRel and community, and it's just a real pleasure to be here.
Thanks for the work you do in open source, by the way. What's exciting about Agentic AI, and why is it important to you?
Well, what's exciting is it gives a whole new generation of contributors a way to contribute. But here's the deal. So like 80% of projects become inactive or are inactive. And the problem with that is the supply chain gets vulnerable and just bit rot city. So what I'm thinking is, and what I find really exciting is that agents can do the things that maintainers don't want to do anymore. So we can hopefully get that 80% down, because I mean, supply chain attacks are the downfall of open source. I've been thinking this for 14 years, so yeah.
Well, do you have a specific experience that really got you hooked on Agentic AI, so to speak, or like what's something that gave you the wow factor that like, this is really going to be a game changer?
I know it's going to sound weird, but every time is the wow factor. The novelty has not worn off for me. It's been like, it really surprises me sometimes. I'm just like, wow, I can't believe it did that. But for me personally, like there was like a TC39 project that there's no way in heck I would be able to contribute to, but I went through Help Wanted and I wanted to see like how powerful is this agentic stuff. Like, yes, I can create a tic-tac-toe game. I can create little fun things here and there, but what does it actually do? Like, how can it actually give back to the open source community? And it did. So I took a Help Wanted that was sitting there for 6+ months, and with an agent, I was able to close the issue and got a thank you from the maintainers of that TC39 project. So yeah, that was a wow factor for me.
That's really neat, man. So there's a lot of discussion around AI's role in development. Do you think AI is going to replace developers?
No. And here's why. My dad, he's been a contractor forever. He taught shop class, and if he had the same tools that I had, power tools, he could build a house. I can drill something into the wall. I can take a piece of wood and drill it into the wall. So what I'm getting at is you still need that underlying knowledge. Building a tic-tac-toe game, like I said earlier, easy. Building a full stack application that scales to millions, let's just even say thousands. You can't vibe code that. And so no. And also, developers, they don't get paid to write code. They get paid to solve issues, to solve very complex issues. So whether that's with an IDE or an agent, doesn't matter. The problem needs to get fixed, and that's what software engineering is. It's building software to solve complicated issues.
I love that answer. It's so great. A little bit more on AI. What existing technologies are critical for Agentic AI to be successful?
Continued support of CLI and system tools, so curl, change directory, like anything that you use on a daily basis, the agent needs to use as well. So whether it's, as I said, whether it's curl, whether it is wget, whatever, grep, awk, all those tools that we really take for granted still need funding, and the agents need them to do their job.
Do you have any advice for someone to prepare for the future of AI? What sort of skills should they be looking into to building up?
Don't dismiss it. It's here. It's not going anywhere. It's a tool. I think a lot of people forget that.
It's not a search engine, right?
These are tools. That's all they are. You can use them to your advantage, and you should use them to your advantage. But yeah, I think there's some skepticism, and which is fine. I'm all about being skeptical, but at the same time, allowing yourself to just deprive yourself of something that can make your job make you do your job better, that's not helping. And also, one last thing about that is, you know, I don't know, I forgot.
It's okay. No, all good. Well, I want to take maybe a step back. Do you see any trends or changes that are affecting open source today that you want to talk about? And it could be good or bad.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that kind of concerns me is the uprise of issues happening with the NPM supply chain. I think that is kind of concerning. But there are companies like Feroz's, like Socket, and there are supply chain security startups out there, which is great. But at the same time, as I alluded to earlier, 80% of projects become inactive, which means those components are outdated, which makes software more vulnerable and also makes open source look bad. So I think that agentic tooling is going to hopefully help that.
Awesome. I want to dive a little deeper here. You mentioned earlier about picking up a help wanted issue. How can someone find an open source project to contribute to?
Yeah, I mean, I forgot what the website is, but if you just Google, help wanted GitHub, and you'll see GitHub has a label called help wanted, and you can just go through there and find things. What I want to say is, please don't submit garbage AI slop. That's not what I'm advocating for. I love maintainers, and I don't want them to be upset by low quality contributions, but those who have some sort of a background in software and open source, start looking at issues that are sitting there for 6 months. How many projects have you seen on GitHub that have thousands and hundreds, tens of thousands of stars? But what I notice is how many issues and pull requests are open. So that's kind of where I'm thinking, like, okay, this is perfect for humans to use agents to solve issues and close them out and make software less vulnerable. Great
stuff. I want to change gears just a little bit. I want to know, do you have any new tools that you've been using lately to boost your own productivity?
Yes. AMP CLI with Ghosty. I use Ghosty every day. It's an amazing terminal emulator by Mitchell Hashimoto, and it makes you just fall in love with your terminal again, at least for me. But yeah, just agentic tools that are in the CLI mostly. But at the same time, I also use VS Code and Zed, and I'm not tied down to one tool. It's whatever does the tool best. I find the CLI to be the most efficient, but that doesn't work for everyone.
Well, you're not the only guest we've had that lives in the terminal window, so we love it.
Yeah.
Do you have a tip, best practice, or any career advice that you'd like to share with the All Things Open community?
Could you repeat that?
Sure.
Sorry.
Do you have a tip, best practice, or any career advice that you'd like to share with the All Things Open community?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I've been in open source, as I said earlier, for 14 years. Don't be afraid of non-code contributions. They're just as powerful as code contributions, and they're needed. It's so important that you don't shy away from that. And there's some folks that don't like that term, but I embrace it. I've done non-code contributions to Z Shell, to Bash, to Bootstrap. Like iconic projects that I would have never. I can't, like. There's no code that I'm going to be able to commit to them. So yeah, don't be afraid of taking on those non-code contribution.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Justin, are you ready for the hot fix minute?
Yes,
Okay, this will be fun. Linux, Mac, or Windows?
Mac.
Books, movies, or podcasts?
That's why podcasts and movies and TV.
Pizza, salad, or tacos?
Pizza.
Rock, country, or hip hop?
Hip hop.
Star Wars, Star Trek, or stargazing?
Stargazing.
Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini?
Claude.
And the future of AI will be helper bots or a robot takeover?
Helper bots.
All right, Justin, you survived the hot fix minute. Thanks so much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Jason,
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.